Yep, that's right.
Excellent. I'm going to click the recorder here. We'll get started. I appreciate everybody showing up. Give me 1 second. Hello, everybody. This is Scott Hudspeth with Agent Mastermind. Welcome to the call, and I'm just honored to be here with you guys. A great, huge milestone that we have is we have crossed the 11,000 mark as far as members in the private Facebook group with Agent Mastermind, so I sincerely appreciate you guys joining us at our Facebook page, which is very, very exciting. Got a special guest, and I'm really excited about this because I don't know about you guys, but I love different ways that people use to generate leads using different types of social media. And today we have John Ray on the call with us, a almost two-year veteran in the real estate industry. So he's actually a real estate agent, and his passion, love for life is Facebook ads. And of course, he's got a couple other things too. But he's going to share with us how he's currently using Facebook ads to generate leads. John Ray, how you doing, man?
Great, Scott. Thank you so much for having me on the webinar today. I really appreciate it.
No, man, I'm honored to have you here, and you're from Illinois, is that correct?
Yep, Chicago, about 25 minutes southwest of the city.
Excellent, man, excellent. I can't wait to get over there, man, and meet you face-to-face someday. We'll stop over and when I visit Glenn, and we'll get over there. But so you got an amazing class. We got a huge crowd here today, and man, I want to sit back. I got my notepad, and I don't know about you, but I always learn. Even though I do these classes every week, I always learn something a little bit different that helps everybody that I can pass along. So I appreciate you sharing what you're doing, man.
Yeah, well, thanks again for having me on. What I'm going to do here today I think is really exciting. It excites me to no end. And again, my name is John. I'm a real estate agent just like you, everyone else out there. And because I'm an agent, I know that you are extremely, extremely busy, and I promise that what you learn today will be worth your time. Because really, I think a lot of this is really just amazing what we can do. So I'd suggest turning off your phone, email, other distractions, because we're going to go through a ton of new information that's going to show you really how to generate leads with Facebook, and in particular with Facebook advertising. Now, when I talk to agents in my office or other agents that I'm working with, or even like friends and family that know that I kind of do this stuff, I find that Facebook to them is by far the most confusing, misunderstood, just confounding marketing tool that's out there for real estate agents. People just don't have any idea how to really harness the potential, and it's no wonder because Facebook changes things all the time. It seems like they're changing things almost every day, and actually they are changing things every week and certainly every month, so it's always a moving target. So in trying to figure out what to talk about today, I was really torn because I could talk for days and days and days about all the things that you could do with Facebook and how to make best use of it. But what I really decided to do here today is, because it's so confusing to so many people, I wanted to give a complete overview on how to generate leads, including beginner, intermediate, and advanced techniques. So
very cool.
What I thought is, if you can understand what can be done, then you've got the potential to decide what's most important to you, and then you can learn how to implement only the things that are most important to you to achieve the goals that you really want. So for today, what we want to do is learn what you can do with ads, again, understand their potential, and in particular see how it works. And we're actually going to go through an example and apply a real-world example of putting up an advertisement for an open house, and I'm going to show you one that I did just 2 weeks ago. And then off of that example, then what we can do is we can extend those concepts, and I can show you how they can be applied to a whole ton of different types of ads to target buyers or sellers or referrals or anything like that. And again, this is covering beginner, intermediate, and advanced techniques. So no matter where you are in understanding Facebook, hopefully you'll get something out of this here today.
Perfect. So just to repeat, you said you used this one example on an open house that you're going to share with us.
Yeah. So the open house I did, and so we'll go through it, see exactly what I did, and actually see the results of exactly what happened, which is obviously really important.
Yes.
So I won't bore you with my background, but some people may want to know why you might want to spend your time with me here in the next 45 minutes or so. So here's just a quick 90-second overview of who I am. Again, I'm a real estate agent in suburban Chicago. And so as an agent, just like you, I need results now, right? I hate wasting money. I need something that's worth my time. So none of this is theory. What I'm doing right now in my own business is what I'm going to be talking about here today. And I've done a ton of stuff that totally failed. I guarantee you. I did a lot of things that just did not work. I wasted a lot of money. But what we're going to talk about today is just what's working, and that's it. I also love marketing. It's what I went to school for. My undergrad is in advertising. My MBA is in marketing. And I used to work in television. So I worked with companies like Yamaha Motors, Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Lottery, Milwaukee Brewers Baseball, and I co-produced commercials that are on pretty much every major cable network. So I had commercials on CNN, HGTV, MTV, every major network. And I also love the internet. I actually fell in love with internet marketing a few years ago. I started, of all things, a dog walking and pet sitting and dog running company. And
wow.
It's a cool business. I still own it today. I've got people that run it for me. And we started in 2008. This year we're going to do nearly $500,000 in sales with 19,000 dog walking visits we're going to do this year. And
oh my God, man.
Yeah.
$500,000 in sales.
From dog walking,
Shark
yeah.
Tank, baby. You want Shark Tank? Is that what you're saying?
My wife, we watch it all the time. My wife's like, you should go on there. I'm like, I don't think so. And but I bring that up only because 95% of all that business came from the internet.
Mm.
So that's where I really saw the potential of it. And that's actually one of the reasons why I got into real estate is I figured, wow, if this is the potential of a dog walking business, if I could apply this to real estate, I'd be loaded, right?
Well, I'm just thinking, okay, if you own a dog, you probably own a home. So you're probably, if people can pay to walk their dog, you're probably dealing with decent-sized clients. So you probably do a bunch of business just from that in itself. But we won't go there today. But I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, that's right. I certainly get referrals from all my pet clients. But as it turns out, all the things that I tried to apply from my pet business, about 80% actually did not work in real estate. And there's a number of reasons why that happened, which I won't bore you with here today. But the silver lining to that cloud was it forced me to look into a bunch of other things, one of them being Facebook, and in particular, Facebook ads. And with all the things that they've been doing over the last few months, a lot of the new powerful things that you can do, where really a lot of the results started coming from. And of course, that's, again, what we're going to be talking about here today. And just quickly as well, kind of in trying to figure out what works in real estate, I started a free podcast and blog. It's at agentuprising.com. I talk about what I'm doing. I also interview other agents and record those interviews. It's totally free, so if anyone wants to check that out, go ahead. And also, for the tutorial that we're going to do later in this webinar about the open house, I actually put up a 10-minute video of a step-by-step of how to do that. So it'd be really hard to do it here just in these static slides. But
no, I appreciate you doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah, if people want to go there, feel free to check it out. Again, it's totally free. Or else you can find me on Facebook, Agent Uprising. All right, so let's move on to what we're going to be really talking about here today. Facebook is truly a game changer. Facebook advertising is truly a game changer. And I hate that phrase, game changer. It's so cliche, but it's truly the way to describe what Facebook ads are, because it's really an amazing way to generate leads. It is, without question, in my humble opinion, the most effective and most powerful advertising system that we as realtors have access to.
I would agree.
They come out with brand new information all the time. In fact, one of the things we're going to talk about here came out just 2 weeks ago. So brand new stuff. And probably most importantly, Facebook, I think, is the biggest bang for your buck ever in the history of the world. Now, that's assuming that you can do it correctly, because if you do it incorrectly, it's about the biggest waste of money you could ever do. It sucks you dry. So we don't want to do that. So the first thing to know about Facebook nowadays in making Facebook work for you is that you got to pay to play. The days of using Facebook for business purposes for free are definitely way long gone. So if you're not willing to fork over a few bucks to get some results, then really none of this is for you, unfortunately. But it can still be super economical. I mean, for 15 bucks, which is what I paid for an ad a couple weeks ago, again in this tutorial that we'll see in a minute, I spent 15 bucks and got some results that I would say were, worthwhile for sure. So it doesn't have to cost a lot, but you do have to pay to get some type of real results. A lot of people are confused about what Facebook actually does. Obviously, we know the social side of things, right? Here on the left side of this slide, we see the typical social stuff that we do. This is our personal Facebook page. We share things, we like things, we put up pictures of our kids and our cats and all this stuff. But being so engaging and so useful to so many people, with over 1 billion users, it's obviously a huge system to maintain by Facebook. So they need some serious cash to run all that. So they have advertising, and that's what we see on the right-hand side of this slide. So this is an ad that was in my personal news feed, and you can see with that pink arrow, I don't know if you can read it, but it says the word sponsored. So anytime you see something that says sponsored, that's a clear indication that that is an advertisement.
Very cool. And that's probably, I would guess, a retargeting ad that you went and looked at razors online somewhere? Would I be right by saying that?
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the commercial that they have.
Yes.
It's a hilarious commercial. So yeah, of course,
Great.
I checked it out, and yeah, they're probably retargeting me for sure. And we're going to talk about retargeting in a little bit.
Excellent, excellent. Good stuff.
So the free social component of Facebook has a greatly diminished use because nowadays Facebook, of course, doesn't want you to promote your business for free. They want you to pay for it. So that's why if you have a business page, your posts only get maybe 5 to 10%, or shown to 5 to 10% of everyone that is a fan of your page. So for example, my business page, I've got over 4,200 fans, but if I post something, I'm lucky if I get maybe 300 people to see it. And
now,
even,
can I explain that really quick just so everybody understands that? Because before, I mean, this has changed, and it's changed probably a year and a half ago, maybe not that long ago.
yeah.
So what happened was everybody like that was a friend of yours, or was even a friend on your personal page, or a fan of your business page, when you posted, for the most part, most people would see it if they logged on anytime during the day. Depending on where they were in their, your post, and if more people liked it, it would stay there. But what Facebook realized is like, okay, people have, like John has 4,200 people. There's no way John knows 4,200 people. So we're only going to show his post to, what is it, 13%? Or is it even that high?
Kind of varies.
10 to
I usually
13%,
get,
something like that.
somewhere in there.
So 10 to 13%. If John wants to show it to the rest of his crowd, we're going to make him pay for it, is what John's saying. And that's where all this Facebook advertising and Facebook ads come in. So that's kind of, I just want to make sure when you post something, not everybody's going to see your post unless you pay for them to see your post. So when he goes into the open house thing or new listing thing, it's going to make a whole lot of sense. If you want, I mean, the more people that see your listing, the better for you. And you don't have to like post it all over the place. You just post it once, pay for the advertising, and then it goes up and then everybody sees it. Or for the most part, a lot more people will see it.
Exactly. So for a few dollars, well, let me turn back. For free, maybe you might get a handful of people to see it. But for a few dollars, 5, 10, 15 bucks, you can literally get thousands of people to see it, and more specifically, thousands of people that could potentially be very targeted customers of yours. Not just a mass quantity of people, but very specific people that could already have an interest in what you're doing.
Very cool.
So for the advertisements themselves, we hit on this a little bit already. On the left-hand side, we see ads in our news feed, and again, this is from me. And on the right-hand side of this slide, we see ads that show up in that right-hand column if you're on a desktop on Facebook. And you can see possibly here on the right-hand side, this is an advertisement for My Outdesk, which is a real estate virtual assistant firm. And Scott, you were talking about retargeting. Yep. I went to this site a few weeks ago, and now I start seeing advertisements from them. So they know what they're doing. And then at the bottom on the right, this is a marketing company. So they're obviously targeting me. They know who I am. And the reason that they're targeting me is because they know exactly what I like, and here's why. Facebook knows all about you. And they know about you because of what you tell it and what it learns about you. So for example, you tell it your name, your birthday, your location, where you live, high school you went to, college you went to, tons of other things. Plus, it starts learning from you over time by what you like, what you share, even what you write in your posts. And it remembers all that very specifically because it wants to show you not only posts from other people and other businesses that are of interest to you, but also advertisements that are likely to be of interest to you. So in a way, Facebook is basically your ultimate big brother. Its sole job is to figure out who you are. Because if it knows who you are and what you like, it can sell very, very specific ads to very hungry marketers. And that's where you and I come into play, right?
There you go.
So let's compare Facebook ads to something that we as real estate agents are all familiar with, direct mail farming. If you're not familiar with farming, it's the concept of taking a postcard or some other type of mail piece and sending it to a very specific area, like maybe a subdivision or a neighborhood, hopefully over and over again, trying to build up credibility and some awareness in that particular area. So let's compare these two things. Let's say that you're going to do some direct mail. So you printed postcards, you spent money on getting things printed, you put all those postcards in a box, you bring it to the post office, and you talk to the mailman, and you say, Mr. Mailman, I am trying to get listings. I want you to deliver this postcard to a very specific area, and I want you to do that next Friday. Can you do that? And Mr. Mailman says, hey, that should be no problem. You want Friday? It might be Thursday, it might be Saturday, but we can probably do Friday. And yeah, of course it's going to go to a specific area. You're giving us the addresses. We'll make sure it gets to those homes for sure. And you're like, all right, that's pretty cool, but I have a few more requests. Mr. Mailman, I know that you're delivering probably 3 to 6 pieces of mail to each house. Please put my postcard on the top of all that mail in each mailbox. And in addition, I know that you deliver the mail between 10 and 3 every day, but I don't want people to look at my mail then. What I want to happen is I want people to only look at my mail between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. because probably by then they put the kids to bed, maybe they're curling up with the TV and a glass of wine. They're probably in the best mood during that time, so I only want them to look at my mail when they're in a really good mood. Can you do that? And by this point he's like, I don't think so. He's looking at you like this really confused face. And he said, I could probably put the mail on the top, but obviously I can't dictate when people are going to read your mail, so I can't really help you there. And you say, Mr. Mailman, I need a few more things. I know I'm giving you a general area that I want you to mail to. I'm giving you the subdivision. But even within that subdivision, you have to guarantee me that only certain people are going to actually get my mail because I don't want to waste money sending postcards to people that aren't my perfect client. So, Mr. Mailman, I need you, when you deliver the mail to a house, even if there's a man in the house, even if there's kids in the house, the only person that can look at that mail is the female in the household. And she needs to be between 25 and 50. She needs to be married. The income of the house needs to be over $100,000. They have to be a home owner of a single-family home. I don't want renters. And they have to have gone to Harvard or really any Ivy League school. And University of Illinois is fine too. And they have to be a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer. Mr. Mailman is thoroughly confused at this point, obviously, because obviously he can do none of this. And you say, also, Mr. Mailman, I have more requests of you. I want you to deliver my postcard only to people that have an interest in running or dogs or gardening. Because as a real estate agent, I know that I have the best chance to connect with someone who has similar interests to me. And because I like these things, I want my potential prospects to also like these things. So when we meet, we automatically have something in common. And they have to have looked at Zillow or Trulia recently, because if they looked at those, then obviously they have some inclination towards buying or selling a house. At this point, the mailman is yelling at you.
That's funny.
He's thoroughly angry because you're clearly talking nonsense, but you still have 2 more sucker punches to throw. Mr. Mailman, 2 more things. I know that I gave you a ridiculous amount of filtering. Only very few people can actually see this postcard that I want to send out. But I know that even though I'm sending very specific people, still only a fraction of those people are really going to be interested in what I'm doing within the next 3 months. So what you need to do is you need to tell me who read my postcard, and you need to send me that list. And out of maybe 2,000 people, maybe that's going to be 20, maybe 50, maybe 80 people. So I need you to send me that list later tonight. And one last thing. I know, Mr. Mailman, that I have requested an insane amount of things, but I'm willing to pay you for all your time and effort. And in fact, I am willing to pay you a grand sum total of $20 for all this work. Now, this is the point where the mailman's head explodes because of the sheer insanity that you have subjected him to, and you say, but Mr. Mailman, you can do all this and more with Facebook ads.
That's awesome.
So let's pause for a moment.
Great way to put that, man. Great way to put that.
Is anyone excited yet? Have I made it clear that you can do amazing things with Facebook?
Absolutely, man.
All right. I think it's fascinating, personally. So, if I piqued your interest, you probably want to know how to do all this stuff, right? So let's dive into that. There's basically 3 ways to advertise a Facebook business page. 2 of them are pretty easy, and one takes a lot more time to figure out. Now, don't be tempted to go the easy route, because you will pay what I call the easy tax. The easy tax is the price you're going to pay to take the easy way out and shortcut the system. Because with Facebook, always remember that the easier it is, generally the more money you're going to waste and the worse your results will be. So don't take shortcuts because you're not going to get any results that way. First thing that you should not do is the boost post button. So when you're in your Facebook page and you type whatever you type and you've got this opportunity to boost post, don't do that. I'm not even going to get into what it is, how it works, why you shouldn't, but just avoid it. It's not even worth your time.
Okay, so you're saying never use boost post?
I wouldn't.
Okay, cool.
I wouldn't.
All right.
Next thing is the Ads Manager. Now this is actually decent. You can find your Ads Manager. Everyone should have this by going to the navigation bar at the upper right of your Facebook. There's that little triangle. Click on that, and you'll get a drop-down list. And that section is where it says Create Ads and Manage Ads. That's your Ad Manager. And Scott, you had talked about in the Agent Mastermind group that super hyper local targeting thing.
Yep.
That's this, local awareness. So this just came out 2 weeks ago. And it's in my Ads Manager, but they're still rolling it out, so it may or may not show up in other people's Ads Manager yet. But basically what this does is this allows you to put in a specific address and then target people within about a mile or so radius.
So insane,
of
man.
that.
That's so cool. All right, awesome. All right, I'll have to see if I see it yet. So what we're saying is you might not see this. This is guys, this is brand new stuff that like literally is being rolled out as we speak through Facebook. So if you don't see this tab that says local awareness, you will eventually.
Yeah, it's coming. And on the left-hand side of this screen, we see things that say clicks to website, website conversions, that whole long list. Those are different types of objectives, of different things that you can do to get different types of responses from ads. Local awareness, in this case, just being one of those. I looked into it. I didn't do anything with it yet, but I don't think that I would do it because I think that the tutorial that we're going to do a little bit later on is a better way, a more targeted way to do the same thing.
Okay.
I think this could be really cool for our retail business. Like if you had an ice cream shop and you wanted to put out a coupon and it's a 90-degree day and you turn on an ad and you want to target people that walk within a mile of your place to come get ice cream, that could be really cool with this.
That could be cool, yeah.
I don't think it's going to work as well for real estate because, again, there is another better way to do it, I think.
I don't just so you know, I don't have it on mine yet. I don't have local awareness on mine.
Oh, okay. All right. You should be getting it soon then, I would think.
Okay. Oh, wait. I gotta. No, what did you click on to get there before that? Maybe I should ask that. Or no, or was that a choice? So you just, so that was the, see, because mine looks totally different than that. They must be changing that all around then. So if you go manage ads, this is the next one is the one you see?
I went on create ads from that drop down.
Yep,
so create ads.
Yep, that's what I did. Okay.
And then this is what I get.
Okay. So mine is click to website. Mine says get video views, boost your pay. So mine's totally different. They must be changing that out. There's get video views now, which is a new one, which you don't have. Oh, yeah, you do at the bottom. You do at the bottom. So it's just flipped. That's weird. That's weird that it looks different. Okay. Cool.
The third way, that is clearly the most powerful way, is what's called the Power Editor. And most people, not most, but a lot of people don't like it because it can be intimidating. It can be clunky, kind of confusing, a little bit difficult to use sometimes. But if you want real results and you don't want to waste your money, then this is really what you should be doing. It's worth your time to learn. You can learn the basics of it in not too long, you know, an hour or two of playing around with it. You'll pretty easily get the gist of it. It's definitely worth your time to be using this and not these other two things that I mentioned, because you will absolutely get more results and spend less money at the same time. So let's take a look at what we can do with Power Editor and why it is worth your time to learn. This is the part of the presentation where we're going to start bridging the beginner and the intermediate and the advanced topics. So if you're someone that is going to, or gets confused as we go along, don't get discouraged. It's okay. I know a lot of this is pretty abstract. Don't fret. You can learn all this stuff. It's not that hard once you figure it out. So let's do a real-world application, promote an open house. And to really go through this would be a long process, and it's kind of difficult with just these static slides like I mentioned before. So again, here you can find the full video tutorial at agentuprising.com/AMM. AMM stands for Agent Mastermind. So let's get into it. With Power Editor, this is really designed so that you could literally be running thousands and thousands of ads all at once. Obviously, that's beyond our use here today, but it is structured in a way that is very categorized. There's a lot of different pieces to keep everything in track, which is really a good thing for us. At the highest level, we want to make a campaign. Now, this is what they call the way to kind of structure your base level promotion. And in this case, you can see kind of in the middle of the page, our campaign name is Open House Promotions, and my objective is to get people to my website with this.
Hey, big question coming in is, do you have to have a business page to do this?
Yes.
You do have to have a business page, okay.
Yeah, so when you go into Power Editor, as we're actually going to see in a minute, you choose what page you want to run. So if you have multiple business pages, you can choose which one. Okay. I don't know of any way to do it with a personal page.
Okay.
Here, the second step is we start getting more specific about what we want to do for our ad. So we want to say when we want to run our ads and how much we're willing to pay. So remember in my farming example earlier that I said I wanted people to see my ads only on a certain day and only at a certain time? This is where we can do that. So towards the bottom of this slide, we see those small 3 pink arrows, and we see the budget. 15 bucks is what I wanted to do.
Perfect.
That second arrow says that I started my ad on a Saturday afternoon and ran it to Sunday morning. So my open house was starting at noon, so I ended the ad at 11. And because it was such a short time frame, I ran my ads continually over the course of that time. But if you only wanted to run your ads on a schedule, like for example, a lot of the ads that I do for webinars, I only run them to, here, I'm going to save you 50% on all your advertising here on out. Only run ads to women, and usually only run them between about 3 p.m. and 11 p.m. That is my magic sauce. I just saved you a ton of money. If you ever try ads, that's my magic sauce right there. So here's where you can dictate that when your ads are going to run, what days and at what times.
Awesome, dude.
And then once we get that done, now here's kind of where we start really building what the advertisement looks like, what we're going to do as far as the targeting that we're going to do, and things like that. So here's the actual ad that I ran. Here's my Facebook page. I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Very good.
Okay, so here's my ad that I ran. And so I've got a picture of the house. I made a little graphic like that, and I put together some information about the house, about the open house, And again, I wanted to get them to come to my website. So there's a little button at the bottom right that says Learn More. People can click on that. And there's also the link to my website directly in the ad itself.
That's cool.
So who did I run this to?
Great question. That's what that's exactly what I was going to ask.
All right, I'm reading your mind here. So this is the section where we can decide where we want to run it, or I'm sorry, who to run it to. So on the left side of this page, we see there's a section that says home type. So I've selected people that specifically own a single-family home. They're homeowners, not renters. And you can't really see it in this slide, but towards the bottom of the left, there's a button that says More Demographics, and then you can see that drop down where it says Relationship and Education and all these things. There's a gazillion things that you
Married,
can select.
engaged.
Exactly.
Like engaged would be a good one to run it to.
Yep, yep.
Work. They actually work.
Yeah, they're employed. They're employed. So on the right-hand side of this slide where you see that big pink arrow, this is ultimately who I ran my ad to. There was a potential audience of 6,800 people who could potentially see this. They live in the town where the house was or within a 10-mile radius of there. 2 women between 35 and 65. They had to be married, income of over 100,000 because this house, the home price was 740. I wanted them to live in single-family homes and be homeowners because for a home price of 740, they're probably not going to be coming from renting. So I could have been a lot more specific about this, but for an open house, I'm just looking for anyone that's possibly interested in this general type of consumer or fits this general target of a consumer. So I didn't need to be super specific.
So you wrote, so looks like you did age 36 to 65. Gender is female only?
Correct, only female.
Relationship status married. Income, so you can actually put an income in there as well.
Yes.
Very interesting. Single family home types and then homeowners. Because you enter that into your profile. So what this is saying, just so everybody on the call understands this, it's saying that 6,800 people live in Woodridge or
yes.
within a 10-mile radius. They're aged 35 to 65 that are female, married, income at 100 to 125 or over. They live in a single-family home and they're homeowners.
Yes, exactly.
Very targeted. Very targeted.
And again, I could have been a lot more specific, but just being an open house, you know, there's all types of people that could potentially be interested, so I kept it relatively broad.
Yep.
So at this point, there's a decent chance that maybe you're overwhelmed by a lot of these things. If it's you, definitely pay attention to this next slide because this is the results, and this is why it's worth your time to learn all this stuff.
Jay said, Jay's asking a question, why only female? Where'd you get that tip at?
You know, that tip is just from my own personal experience. I mean, maybe in your local market you might have better results with males, but I can tell you with pretty much every single ad I've ever run, whether it's an open house like this or I do a lot of ads to generate leads for webinars. So I'll do webinars on how to sell your home in this specific town. And for that, I specifically am requesting an email so I can send them a link to the webinar and stuff like that.
Okay.
For whatever reason, 98% of all those leads are always female. They're always female. I don't have a good reason why, but they are.
Another guy, John says they make the decisions. I'm like, great point. Great point. All right. So,
for sure. All
right.
And for those types of ads, like the webinars and stuff, again, I've experimented running ads all day, on certain days, certain times of the day, and my loss is your gain. I've spent a lot of money, wasted a lot of money on different things, and what I see working over and over again is just advertising that type of ad between 3 p.m. and 11 p.m. That's about it. That's when people go on. That's when people are responsive to actually clicking and coming through and generating leads.
A good friend of mine, Sylvia, says, why not renters?
In this particular case, this house was priced at $740,000. So my rationale was that if you're renting, you're probably not going to be buying a house for $740,000. But if I was doing more like a lower end home, for my market anyway, you know, that could definitely be a good target for sure.
Yeah. So I'm asking myself, why would you not do this? on every listing. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not an open house, why would you not just run the listing to put it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. Once you figure this out, I mean, this takes me 10 minutes to do. It's really not
Another
that hard.
question, and I lost the name of who asked it. Can you be specific as far as people? God darn it, I lost the question. They said, why not? Can you be specific on like people that are researching Trulia? They're probably not going to have Trulia or Zillow in their profile. Is probably the answer to that. This is stuff that is in their profile. Their ages, their female, male, married, not married, engaged, complicated, whatever. They put their income in there, single-family home, homeowner assist. And Facebook is always trying to get you to better your profile, like always. So some people just hate seeing that sign, so they just go in and complete it and be done with it. And whether they fill it out correctly or not, most people are not going to lie about themselves. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
If anything, they're going to inflate, yeah.
I don't know if this is the question or not, but regarding Zillow and Trulia, remember in my little farming example I mentioned before that I wanted people to like Zillow or Trulia? Well, in this slide, in the bottom left, you can't see it because this drop-down box is covering it up, but there's a section that says interests. And you can type in Zillow. In fact, this is in the video tutorial. It's exactly how to do all this stuff. You'll see that in there. You can select people. I only want to advertise to people that like Zillow or Trulia or Zip Realty or Remax or whatever it is. There's a ton of those in there. And that's when I do ads to buyers, I always put that in there. Because if they like Zillow or Trulia or some real estate search site, there's probably a good chance that they're looking to buy a home. And those are the people that I advertise to. And you can do that.
You know, and Marvin brings up a good point here. He says, my son is renting a home and is looking for a home land between 600 and 900. So if you think about it, though, I mean, think about moving to Illinois. A lot of people are moving there, and they might not know where they want to live. So some people might rent first to find out what area they want to live in. I don't know, it's just a thought. I mean, so we're just showing you. I mean, you can choose. You can do whatever you want. As far as the cool part about it is Facebook allows you to do anything you wish inside here. So I would maybe run 2-3 different ads, one with renters, one without, so you can track the difference. I wouldn't do it all together, though. I would specifically go different ads so you can track and see, got some hits, got leads, or I didn't receive any leads, or so you can know exactly what's working and what's not. Be really specific on your ads.
That's a great point. The whole gist of all this is to allow you to help you understand that you can do a million different things and keep testing things and figure out what works. Right. And for this open house, I actually ran 2 ads at the same time. At the top of this slide, you see an ad name says 6600 Carl ad 1, and then below that another ad. And there were different variables. I had different things to, different targeting. And the one clearly outperformed the other. So now I know for the next time I do it how to keep fine-tuning and testing and seeing which works better and which works worse, and fixing what didn't work so I can keep improving all the time. And here's the results of what happened. So this is literally right out of my Power Editor. Here's the results unedited, for good or worse. We see that I ran it again towards the top, that top pink arrow. I ran it on October 11th to the 12th for basically 22 hours. I spent 15 bucks. And what I got was 118 people actually clicked on that ad and came to my website. There were 1,351 people that actually saw this ad show up in their newsfeed or on their mobile phone. And again, I spent a grand total of 15 bucks. So now, if nothing else, what you can do with this is impress the pants off of your sellers, because you say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm trying to sell your house. No other agent is doing this. I just got your house in front of over 1,300 people, and specifically 118 of them came to my website where I've got your listing, where they saw pictures, they saw all the description, everything. So I just got you more people potentially buying your house. So if nothing else, no other agents are doing this, or hardly any, and you can definitely use this as a sales technique of why people should be using you.
Right.
Now, of course, you're probably wondering, did this actually work? Did anyone come to the open house? Did anyone buy this home? And I'm fine with telling you that no one did. No one came to this open house specifically because of the ad. Now, people came to the open house because of the sign or other things, but when I asked, no one said that they saw this on Facebook. But that is okay with me. And the reason it's totally okay is because I just basically got 118 new potential buyer leads. And for 15 bucks, that means it cost me about 13 cents per lead. So let me talk about what how I'm figuring this. Remember when I said in my farming example that I wanted poor Mr. Mailman to give me the addresses of all the people that looked at my postcard?
Yep.
Well, this is where that happens. I can place a little piece of code on my website, and I can start tracking anyone who comes to this individual page. And Facebook remembers who they are. I don't know who they are. I don't have their names. I don't have their emails or anything. But Facebook knows who they are. And Facebook allows me to start sending them more advertisements. So the next time I do an open house, I'm targeting these 118 people. I'm saying, hey, here's another open house in Woodridge. Why don't you come on by? And after a while, they're either going to come, or if nothing else, they're going to keep seeing my stupid face over and over again. So, I mean, that's worth something right there.
You know, another thought to this that I love the most is we all have past database. People that know, like, and trust us. Some of us 150, some of us 50, some of us 1,500. Think about running this ad and having run it in front of your friends, in front of your past clients, in front of, because you can do that. You can create custom audiences with emails. We've talked about that before. Think about just reminding your past database, current database, past clients, friends, family, coworkers of who you are and what you do for a living by doing something like this. Me personally, I would probably put my name in the subject line or somewhere in the header or description, just so people, because that's really what you're going for is branding. I mean, that's really what you're trying for here is branding, right? Right? Am I correct on that?
To some extent, yeah.
To some extent, yeah. I mean, you want to sell the home for sure, and you want to impress the sellers so they stay with you, but you also want your other past clients, current clients to go, hey, oh yeah, John's in real estate. I want to sell my home, or I want to buy a home. There's John, and like so you're always top of mind 24/7 when you run these ads. Even if you just run it and you're not, like you find somebody else is doing an open house, or you have a new listing, you can do it the listing for over the weekend. Hey, new listing, just got a new listing. Congrats, this is so cool. Check it out, and like put a cool description in there. Run the Facebook ad, 15 bucks, and it stays in front of your clients. If you do it once every other week, you're letting your clients know that you're still in real estate, and you're using the largest social media site on planet Earth to get in front of people.
That's perfect. You are reading my mind again, because my very next slide was talking about custom audiences, and this is exactly what you were just saying. You can create an audience of, like you said, past clients. So if you want to do referrals, create an ad that says, hey, I'm John, thanks for being a client of mine, and you run this to people. Let's say that you had 100 people on a list of your past clients. You upload this to Facebook. It matches that email to a Facebook account. And now, not every single person is going to be matched up. You might get maybe roughly 60, 70% of all those emails actually matched to someone. But hey, that's a ton of people, and it's really cheap. I mean, you could advertise to 100 people for like 10 bucks. Mm-hmm. That's a lot cheaper than direct mail. And if you don't, yeah, exactly. Or like you said, a list of prospects. Maybe you've got a list of people that have been coming to open houses. Or maybe you bought those geographic packages from Zillow or Trulia, and you've got like 10,000 completely worthless emails of buyers that never do anything. Upload that list to Facebook, because you know that they're looking to buy. Maybe it's not today, maybe it's not tomorrow, but you keep advertising to them. That's another way to make use of that money that you spent for all those internet leads.
Right on. Crazy. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, man, this is getting excited just talking about it again. So,
I know.
Let's see here. More of an advanced thing is you can actually create funnels to show a series of ads in a sequential order. So let's say that you run an ad for a home valuation. So someone comes to that page, but they didn't convert, they didn't download, they didn't give you their email. You could tell Facebook, hey, this person came to my page, but they didn't give you their email, so I'm going to run this ad to that person again. and I'm going to keep asking them to do this because they've already shown a little bit of interest. Or conversely, let's say some person came to that page, they did give you their email. Now you can tell Facebook, hey, for anyone that gave me my email or gave me their email, I'm going to show them new ads to keep moving them along this little funnel to kind of get them even closer to me. So I'm going to start asking them, hey, do you want me to come out and give you a personal home valuation or something like that? Yep. So there's a lot of little tiny tricks that you can do with all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's huge. Yep, great idea.
So along those lines, here are some ways that we can apply the concepts that we just talked about and apply them to different areas. So for example, seller ad ideas. Like we talked about, this is really cheap farming. We just put out an ad to a specific area in a town. You know, a town of 20,000 people is a fine area. It's not too big because you're only really looking for a small group of people. A lot of cheap farming. You could offer market snapshots, home price valuations, downloads, and again, like I talked about before, I do a lot with webinars. That seems to convert the best for me. And again, it just shows sellers that you're internet savvy. If they keep seeing ads from you on Facebook, they're not seeing that from other people.
Hey, I got a question for everybody, and we got a big group here. Would anybody be interested in seeing a class on how to use webinars to incorporate webinars into your business like John is doing? Would anybody be interested in that? Just a simple yes or no, or okay, cool. Ton of yeses, man. That just blew through all the questions.
Okay.
I'll have to go back. Like I
Cool.
think we just got 100 yeses within a matter of seconds. So
wow,
right, that'd be a good class. I'll do. How about if you and I do it together, man?
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Sounds good. Because you guys are on a webinar right now, I can show you some crazy sick tricks that John and I do that'll just blow your mind. So we'll put that together. We'll do it sometime in November. Sound good?
Rad.
All right, man. Done.
All right.
Appreciate the input, guys.
Real quickly, just kind of going through some buyer ad ideas. So because we can target very specifically, like renters, for example, maybe we're looking for first-time home buyers or maybe some other type of demographic that you're well-suited to, offers to get people access to the MLS, market snapshots, or maybe you've got a partner with a lender and maybe you're splitting costs with Facebook ads with them. Again, we kind of talked about this already, webinars, stuff like that. Oh yeah, one more thing about
my head is spinning now with webinar ideas. I do. I'm just like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
One last thing about buyer ad ideas. If you do IDX, maybe you've got an IDX website, or maybe you do a lot of pay-per-click ads on Google AdWords or something to get buyer leads. Do you potentially see how this retargeting can be maybe even a replacement for all that stuff, possibly more effective, no question, less expensive?
I mean, that retargeting stuff, man, so it's like somebody asked how you get the emails. So the emails that you want to get are your past database. 99% chance, not 99%, probably a 60 to 70% chance that the email you have for your database of current clients, past clients, is the email they use to sign up for Facebook. So and we can go over it. We'll do a different class, or maybe I'll do a short recording for Agent Mastermind on how to upload that. But you literally convert it to a CSV file and upload it under custom audience, and then Facebook goes through and goes, okay, I have. If you upload 100 past database, it'll say I have 60 or 70 that match. And what that means match is we found 60 emails that match profiles inside Facebook, which it's going to be your clients. So now you can, very inexpensive, get in front of your past clients that are that Facebook user. It's like laser focused. It's crazy. And we can do webinars that way too. I mean, you can literally do anything you want. It's so freaky.
It's very freaky. It creeps my wife out to no end because I talk about all this stuff. And she's like, A, I don't know what you're talking about. B, I don't want to know what you're talking about because it scares me to death that Facebook knows all this stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Someone was, I don't know if the question was about IDX or someone brought it up, but keep in mind that with Facebook or with IDX or these buyer leads, what are we trying to do with that? We're trying to get people to convert, right? We want them to give us their email, maybe their name, maybe their phone. It all hinges on them giving us that information. But with Facebook, you don't need that. You don't need that. as soon as they come to the website, Facebook tags them with this magical little piece of code, and although you don't know who they are, Facebook does, and it allows you to send advertisements to them however you want, however frequently you want to. All right, so that's it. Thank you so much for letting me
awesome,
share
man.
stuff with you.
Awesome. So let's go over some questions here. There's like I've been trying to answer some of them. So, so a couple times people have asked about their income. So they say people don't enter their income. So when you put in there only, I mean, obviously you got 6,800 people, but they say a lot of people don't. So are you missing out on the ones that aren't putting in their income? Great question. And yes, you would. I guess the answer would be yes. You are missing out on the ones that didn't put in their income, right?
Well, you don't necessarily have to put in your income because Facebook, through a number of major data aggregating companies, will figure that out
for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of what you buy and where, like they trust me, they know your life better than probably you do, which is scarier. I mean, trust me, that's why they're doing all this stuff, because they go, all right, how can we make more money? Well, we can give more information to the people that want to pay us ads. You know, pay to put ads up in front of people's faces to sell stuff. That's what they're in it to make money.
Yeah.
What days? So.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I was trying to back page to one of the slides that shows you like all these major data aggregating company partnerships that Facebook has. It's actually in that audience section. You can fine tune a lot of different things, but you couldn't really see it in that slide, so forget it.
Okay, cool. All right. What other advertising can you do the farm areas? Stay in touch with Sphere, encourage referrals? Yeah, absolutely. All those. Kathy, that's a great question. So anything you can think, like if once you have your database of people, or you know a certain category of people, like he said, like engaged, homeowners. I mean, there's a bunch of different people you can run Facebook ads to. It's not just about necessarily a listing. I mean, you could. I mean, and I was just thinking out loud, you could run a happy birthday to one of your friends and put a Facebook ad up, if you wanted to, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, just to say, hey, John, I wanted to wish you a happy birthday. So excited for you, man. It's your big 2-5 or big 5-0 or whatever. Happy anniversary to one of your past clients, and run it in front of all your friends, family, coworkers, everybody in the area. Put in there, thanks to you, you're in your new home. Like, I mean, I think a great one would be testimonials. If you could,
yeah, for sure.
If you could get, just a picture of a person holding their keys. Congratulations to the Smith family on their new home. I'm so excited for you guys. I mean, if you have a video, ask for permission to run people to the video. But guys, people love third-party verification, and third-party verification is other people going, "You're awesome." When somebody says, "What do you do?" Like when somebody says, "Hey, Scott, what do you do?" I go, "Well, people say I'm really good at doing webinars. So what did you just hear?" I mean, what's the difference between, "Oh, I'm really good at doing webinars, John," or other people say I'm really good at doing webinars? Third-party verification is 10 times better. So when someone says, "Hey, what do you do?" Say, "Well, people say I'm really good at selling real estate." Oh, cool. Instead of patting yourself in the back and go, "I'm really good at selling real estate," which is self-fulfilling, you're getting the third-party verification. So just one more. I mean, anything you can think of, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but anything you can think of that you can stay in front for $5, $10. If he would have only did $5, he would have probably got a third of the clicks. Who cares? He's doing what it needs to do. He got in front of 1,300 people, which, and if he would have ran it for 2 more days, he probably would have got 2,600 people, depending on when they log in, what they do when they log in, how long they're there, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And it's really, John, is this about do you get leads from this when you run ads ever? Have you
absolutely.
ran it? Okay, so you get people to call you, check in, "Hey, John, I want to see this house."
For my webinars, that's my biggest converting thing. I absolutely get people's names, their emails. I had I did a webinar a little while ago, cold ad on Facebook. Someone jumped on the webinar, and my offer at the end of the webinar was, "Hey, if you want me to list your house, I'll do that." It wasn't quite that blunt, but within 45 minutes, I had a brand new listing.
Yeah, awesome, amazing, dude. It's just being out there. It's just the same as farming an area and going, "Hey, I just sold this house or just listed this house." It's really no different. You're running a Facebook ad saying, "I just sold this house, I just listed this house." It's the same thing for a third of the price to reach 100 times more people, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
there's if whatever you're doing now, you can absolutely, positively, unless you're walking door to door, if it's anything besides that, you can absolutely do it on Facebook, no questions.
and it's more effective and it's cheaper.
More effective, more laser focused.
Yeah, and it's not just about that. It's not just about you putting your face in front of people all the time. Not only is it cheaper than any other way to do that, but really you can run very specific conversion type ads. You know, this open house is just an example of getting some general promotion, but most of what I do is come to this page, I'm looking for your email. Get this download, sign up for this webinar, or get this other item of value, and I'm getting real leads from that, and that begins a relationship which you can further with all these things that we just talked about.
Right on. So what I would first thing, okay, so you said you did a recording for everybody that you're going to give to everybody. Are you cool with posting that on the, so one, to get a recording of this webinar and the PowerPoint, just contact a loan professional that sent you here. Two, you said you did a recording of something else. What was that you did a recording of?
Yeah, that whole open house tutorial.
Strategy. Okay.
Yeah, if you go to agentuprising.com/AMM, which is right on this slide here,
okay.
You can see the tutorial for that, and there's some other free stuff that I'll give you as well.
Could we just post that link on the Agent Mastermind private Facebook page? Would that be cool?
That would be awesome, yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you're new coming to this, make sure to sign up, or not sign up, there's nothing to sign up for, but just join us on our private Facebook page. I posted it down in the comments section. I'll post it again just for a chat down here for everybody. If you guys look down in the chat, it says to all, if you're joining us for the first time, I'm just going to repost this again. It's facebook.com/groups/agent mastermind. I just posted it again on the chat there. And everybody should be able to see that if you click on the link and sign up there. Again, there's nothing to sign up for. Just join the group, and we'll let you in if you're a real estate agent. So, John, dude, this is exciting stuff. And if you can think it, so a lot of people go, how do I learn how to do this? One is I think I would, if you, one, watch this webinar on how to do it. Two, go to YouTube and go, how do I do a Facebook ad? You'll probably hit a Facebook link or some 7-year-old kid that figured it out way before we even thought about doing it. This is the truth. It's so insane what these kids do nowadays. So watch how he does it, and he'll probably walk you through step by step. Two is if you have a question, please ask it on the Facebook page. If you get stuck, there's a bunch of people that can help out, including John, to help you with little steps across the way. We can do a little 1-minute jing and show you, hey, click here and do this, and then you're good to go. So does that sound cool?
Yeah, that's awesome. And on my site, agentuprising.com, I'm going to start writing more about Facebook. I do a lot of stuff that I do in my business, and I interview other agents. There's podcast recordings of all these interviews. They're all totally free, so hopefully that'll help people. And I was thinking about maybe even doing a course of some sort, maybe even in conjunction with you, Scott. So if people are interested in that, there's also a way on that page on agentuprising.com to say if you might be interested in that. So maybe we'll put that together if people are interested.
That sounds good, man. That sounds good. We'll talk about that. I'm really, I think the webinars is a really cool deal, especially you're getting leads from it. So maybe we'll talk about that and build something for that other people can use as far as what webinars go for November.
Okay, that sounds cool.
All right, my friends. John, let's see. Yeah, Marvin's real. Yeah, he says he wouldn't skip the renters because renters, especially, I guess, depending on where you're at, depending on the price of the home. But if you're in a town that warrants $650,000 to $750,000 homes for first-time home buyers, then absolutely don't skip the renters. But if you're in a town where renters aren't going to buy, because my average loan size here is 100, 150, probably not going to buy a $700,000 home if you live in my town. That's just my audience. But if you're going to do that, make sure you run different ads so you can track the results. Don't run everything in every profile and every Facebook ad together, because there's no way to know why they clicked on it, because now you're targeting all of these people. I would go very, very, very specific and maybe do less, do $10 instead of $15, and run 3 of them or 4 of them or 5 of them and see. Then you find one that works, you can dump a bunch of money into it, start getting leads from it, or stand in front of people and stuff like that. So.
Awesome.
All right. I think a lot of people are, Rick goes, a lot of people are moving to Illinois. My loan says, right? All right. And that was with the Illinois without an S. I don't know why I throw that S in there. It's just, I don't know what the problem was. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for joining us. John, I appreciate your time, brother. This is awesome. I appreciate you just standing up and going, hey, let me help out. And it's just cool to see other people give. Hopefully somebody got something from this today and takes the plunge with Facebook ads. It is a little challenging at first when you run your first one, but man, it's just like riding a bike. After you ride one time and you got it, it's just like common nature. John, I'm sure when you did your first Facebook ad, it took you a half hour, maybe 2 hours, but now it's down to 10 minutes, right?
Exactly. You just got to figure out what works for you, what things are most important, and then it goes pretty quickly.
Cool. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Honored to be a part of your lives. Join us on the private Facebook group, and we'll see you same time, same place, right here on Agent Mastermind. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.